14-10, good luck. So we've not played before, no head-to-head score there. We get white, so knight f3 as per usual. Opponent, 650 games. Okay, what's this? This is the Black Mustang opening, I think, if I remember. We've had this a few times recently. Goes knight up. Okay, let's just challenge for the center. I might stick to our normal structure. And what are we on now? 1363. So not too far off 1400. This is the structure you'll see in a lot of my games, is to put the bishop on g2. It's just what I'm used to playing. So do we do that again? Knight up, bishop down. I'm not too concerned about the bishop coming down. I think I'll develop the knight first. I'm just trying to make my mind up which setup I want to go for. He's played that. Okay. I mean, I can break this. Actually, let's do that first. Let's just break the pin to stop the knight jumping in. And we're going to try and put the bishop on the diagonal. Oh, excuse me. It breaks the kind of symmetry as well. Apologies if I'm a little bit croaky. It's just still allergy season for me here. I feel fine. But I'm still a bit croaky, but not to worry. So obviously, opponent's already got castle. Very, very good. So is that an opportunity for us with that pawn push? So knight up is a move. If you take the pawn, we take your rook. And if you take the knight, we take your rook. There is a risk that we might get the bishop trapped though. So the pawn there and bishop there, it's a risk, isn't it? Little bit of a risk. Let's just get castled and then maybe play a pawn up and see what he's going to do. So we'll play a pawn up and then probably take with the bishop if he takes. He could just drop all the way back as well. He does take though, so we'll develop our bishop. Knight in is a move you would kind of expect here. I'm going to develop the queen to kind of cover that for one move and just try and centralize my rooks and maybe push the pawn. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to come up with a plan in my mind as to what I want to do, but not burn too much time on the clock. So, I mean, we can try and launch queenside attack. We can try and centralize the rooks and launch in the center. Just got to keep our king safe first. So that tells me he might want to push here. So it's probably best to keep this in reserve. So if rook here pushes takes, he can't take with a pawn. Knight takes, rook takes, he might get overloaded. So I'll just bring this rook here now. I can still push on the queen side if needed. We can always spend a move and come back if needed. Probably centralize the rook. So the pawn's playing very well so far. They're doing well. So what do I want to do? I'm just looking at simple move just to launch forward. If this, I kind of have to take though, don't I? But here, if you come down, if I take, you could take with anything. We can then maybe push on, but I can't really stop this. If I go here now, if you take, this is weak, so I could do this. But I think I'm going to be bold and play b4, but he's played this really well. He's got a very good setup, very good. Yeah, he has pushed there, so I'm just debating now. Can I afford to concede center ground and push on here? Or do I take? Now, if he goes with the knight, I can take. He might have to trade the bishop, so can I create anything? Say I push here first, he just takes. If I take back, he can take and attack the queen. I'm looking for this trick with a bishop. I don't think it's there, but if I take, he can't, well, he could take with a pawn, I guess, and then I guess I've still got knight takes. Let's just do it. Let's take. I don't want to completely clog it down. He could go with the knight. He could go with the pawn. He's gone with a pawn, so is that a chance for a trick? If I take with the knight, he can't take with a queen because the bishop covers, and if he takes with the knight, his bishop hangs. So I think it's a pawn. But it could be a pawn with a sting, because this pawn isn't protected. So everything could trade up once our knight moves, but it's just kind of a swapsy, isn't it then? So, but it looks like a chance to take a pawn, so why not? If I take and he plays in, we can take. I'm going to go for it. Let's go for it. I'm getting a little bit low on the clock now. Under 7 minutes. But if he plays knight takes, I'll take the bishop. If he ignores it, we're threatening to take the knight. So there is a threat there. But he might have a move, I guess, knight back. Or he's played queen up, so he's covered everything. So we could trade everything off and just say we've gained a pawn, including this solid. That looks really good to me. So takes, takes, bishop takes, queen takes, then the bishop takes here, the queen takes, and then e3. And we just simply gained a pawn and our king's really safe. It's not exactly glamorous and exciting, but I'm just trying to play to win the game, so I think we can take. I'm not sure if it matters which way, but I think it's got to be this one, right? I don't see anywhere to deflect the queen, so I'm just going to take and take. And then play e3. Try and be really solid. I think I want to play e3. I could push and maybe risk this. Yeah, can I push here first while I've got a chance to and risk this pawn? Has he got a triangulation there? Maybe queen down, pawn up. Here. I want to push the pawn before he stops it and I can't. But I guess even if I take, he's alright anyways. Let's just push the pawn up. So we've gained a pawn. We've got 7 against 6. We've got to get our rooks properly active now. So the rook forward, double up. As long as we can keep our king safe and he doesn't get a lot of counterplay. A rook across, queen over, something like that. So we have to be prepared to try and get back and protect our king. Okay, he's launched one. So I think we can afford to ignore it for now and go for a counter move and try and get forward. That's what I'm looking at. If he takes, we take, we attack his pawn, but the idea is to try and double up. I'm going to do that. I'm miles down on the clock, so I've got to play a little bit quicker. If he takes, I can't ignore it though, because that would be a disaster. So if he takes here, I'll have to take back, so I'll pre-move that one. So now we have an immediate threat to another pawn. We're threatening to also double our rooks up, but I've got to keep my king safe. So he's launched his pawn forward, so I think we should just take that. Now, can we put pressure on this? So I'm looking at immediately coming here. If I go here, he can easily challenge the rook. So I'm looking at the rook here or the rook here. I like the idea of doubling up, but right now it's a good safety piece. So what about here? I mean, queen here as well. I don't like that. I'm just going to drop back. Just a simple move. It gives me the option to play queen up and challenge his queen if I need to, but I guess it might let him in to hit my pawn. But queen up offers the queen trade and we hit the pawn. Same thing, I can go here and hit the pawn twice, threatening to go here and guard here, so that might be a slight mistake. So I'm going to do that to try and deflect one of his rooks to protect somewhere, but the idea is really I might get forward and attack the king, then he has to go defensive, so he probably needs this rook to guard the pawn, not this one. Otherwise here, I mean, I guess he can go here. If we repeat, he can go back. Maybe he's fine. But he has found that though. He's found that one. Okay, but can't I just take the pawn here? I think I can. Let's take. So we've got 2 extra pawns. But if we lose this outside pawn, it's probably still a theoretical draw with correct play. 4 against 3 would be a theory draw if you're playing it correctly. Depending on where he goes, we've got rook here to maybe trade this rook. So that could be a nice move. We'd get a check. But I still don't see how I easily push this pawn. I can't see how I quickly get into game here. Might be better to try and trade the queen then. Queen here. And if he takes, I can bring the pawn over. Actually, that would be really good. If he takes, I don't take with the rook. I take with a pawn, then I can potentially build a nice chain. That'll be a lot easier for us to play. I don't think he will trade, but he could. Let's just see. Yeah, but if we lose this one of our 2 extra pawns, it could be very, very difficult to try and convert. Now, I've got queen here as well to attack both rooks, I've noticed. So what does he do then? What does he do? If rook down here, that could be problematic. Here, rook down, he double attacks this and we can't easily move. I guess we'd throw in a check and push. Okay, let's play it then, because I burnt too much time early on. I burnt a lot of time early on. I'm about 2.5 minutes down. I've still got rook here if I need it, but if this pawn's gone, it's going to be really hard to try and win the game. Oh, he's gone that way, so I could actually do that. Check and go here. Right, I'm going to do that and get one of them off the board and then hope I can push my pawn. I'm not sure I can, but I'm going to risk it. Oh, he's played up. So now we can check. And what does he do? He has to block. Then trade up. It's got to be right to try and weaken his structure. Then I'll just trade, I think. And now I'm coming behind my pawn. I think I'm fine to activate my pieces now. He can go with the queen as well, but I'm happy to trade everything off and rook behind. He's gone with the pawn as I expected, so I'll take. Now I want to go here to go here. Here now, if he goes here, here. If he checks, I step up. If he checks, I can block. So it's time to activate the rook. I just don't want to blunder a checkmate, of course. I've seen the threat, so rook up. Check with a queen or the rook, king up. Say check here, pawn up. And then we're going to try and start motoring. But have I got enough time? Down to 3 minutes against 6. Okay, we'll play rook up. Okay, we'll play king up. This is the tricky bit. So pawn up, pawn down. We can go here, I think. If pawn down, it opens his king wide open, but I've got queen here. My king looks safe. Don't mean it is, but it looks it. But I'm just getting to a point where we're threatening to push on. So here now, we threaten the pawn, we threaten the queen. If he takes, we double up. So I think we just march forward. We create a double hit. If he takes, we go this one. We lose this pawn, so we take this way. That would be too much for the rook to stop, or it should be. But he's got to guard his pawn and keep his king safe. So he's gone for this counter punch again. So can I ignore it and say this is safe? So push the pawn. I really want the queen off the board. I don't see how to force it. And he knows to keep it on. But if he gets that counter punch, I've missed something. I mean, I might be better sacking this pawn. But I guess he's just got rook takes. That's problematic. If he went with a queen, it would be fine. But all of that would hang this. If I could pick the rook up and put it here now, that would be good. Oh, he's played a defensive move, so that allows me just to push the pawn on. So now it might actually be worth sacking this pawn. Allow rook takes and just drop the queen back, and then my king is ultra safe. So he's coming behind for the checkmate threat. So I think I can go here, as long as I don't blunder my rook. So I think I go here, check here. Hold on, maybe I go here. Guard my rook, and then I stop him checking here. And here, right? Oh, you'd have a check there though, but I think I'm fine. I don't think I've got anything else. So let's go here, guard the rook, give my king hopefully a passage out. He's playing this tremendously well, and though it's not easy, not easy. I only had the one realistic move there. Check, I can come here. And he doesn't have a check the next move, and I'm threatening to throw a check in. If we just get the queen off, it's easy. It should be, and we're 2 moves off a new queen, but we've got to keep the king safe. But I've already seen these moves, so rook here. Maybe I just play queen across, hit the rook, hit the queen, and there's no other checkers. So I think this should win the game. If he checks, we can just take, and he doesn't have another queen check anywhere. So we hit the queen, we hit the rook. I think that should be good enough. It's just looking for them patterns. I don't see another check, and he's got to guard his rook or trade the queen. Rook takes pawn, queen takes, and again, it's just a free rook, and I don't think I'll lose my rook. I mean, I can always miss something in any position, of course, but I think that's good enough. But he's put a really good effort, really good. Good player, good player. Over time, this account should get a better rating. This should do. Should get a better rating than this. Somebody who knows all the fundamentals. But I don't see how you avoid the queen trade now. I hope I'm right. I might be missing something, of course. If that pawn wasn't there, you'd have a check here. But it is there. So it's pre-move. Actually, no, let's not worry about a pre-move. It's rapid. But yeah, queen takes, king takes. You've got to move the rook. Maybe take a pawn, drop back. We just push and we get a new queen in 2 moves. So that should be good enough. And that's all you're doing, is you're trying to spot these patterns just to see if the queen can go anywhere to give a check. And I don't see it. He's taken the pawn, so we just simply get the queen off the board, remove all the risk and get a new queen. Okay, so he's gone back, we'll get the queen. Okay, so the easiest way to convert here is just come back and pin the rook with a view to take, protecting your clean rook up. So, I mean, you can check here. Actually, checking here as well is probably even better. You go here to guard here. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? A little bit more clinical. Just throw a check in. Give up a rook to gain the rook. It doesn't matter if I'm missing a technical. Actually, am I missing a technical checkmate here? Is there a mate here? So check, he's got a move here. Check. He's kind of running in here, so let's just do it the simple way. I'm just trying to show this relatively instructive if I can, so yeah, just showing it a simple way to convert the game without messing it up. And you're just trying to avoid stalemate now. So get the pawns, give a check. It's never a stalemate when there's a check. Now we've cut the king. You can't run because of the queen, so just make a new queen. Lots of moves for the king. So just make a new queen. Now we just give a check and a nice simple ladder mate. Again, just watch out, pay attention just in case, but as long as you check, it's not a stalemate. Now we get a checkmate, but that's someone who knows how to play good chess. So this is someone I'd expect to see the rating rise over time. So let's pause so we don't accidentally start another game. 61 moves there, the move times for both players there, but very, very good effort. Yeah, the Zuckerto opening Black Mustang defense. We've seen this a few times recently. So we've played the end game very well there. If you see a way to convert a game, that's all you do is try and make sure that way works. Don't keep looking. So we played, well, yeah, 94 against 90% on the accuracy. Not many mistakes at all, is it? And my opponent was playing very well. Not many mistakes whatsoever. So let's take a quick flick through as we normally do. So you see it's just all about level here out of these opening moves. Then the engine doesn't like here d6. The engine prefers the knight forward to attack the bishop. But then equally, it wanted us to push in the centre immediately to try and gain that bit more centre space instead of the queen up. So that's fair enough. We lost actually a full point for that. So we're still marginally better. Excuse me. Didn't like b4 either. Wants me to play this move advancing in the centre. So I guess if you take, we take back. The pawn is hanging, but so is the knight. So in that position, it's playable. So yeah, it's something to learn, trying to center that bit quicker. Then here as well, wants me to not take the pawn and still push in the center. The slight concern is knight back in f5. It gets very, very bold, very attacking. So that's why I traded there. Yeah, but d takes was a blunder. And that's my opponent's, it's one of only two blunders, d takes. So we're now +2 better, and we stayed basically better the rest of the game. So we played pretty decently here. But here again, the engine wants me to drop the knight back instead of trading everything off. But I thought trading everything off left me better. So that's why I traded it. I gained the clean pawn. It's only just over what? Just over +1. Played the rest of the game very, very well. So is my opponent, to be fair. Played it very, very well. We managed to gain that extra pawn, but if we lose that vital pawn, it's just a theoretical draw. It'd be very difficult to convert. But I managed to figure this out well and keep the king safe. Yeah, so here, didn't need to push the pawn. Could have just moved the queen up immediately. And I guess we're hitting this pawn, so you've got to maybe do something like my opponent actually did do, and then just start running. So we should have played queen to d5. Oh, the best move was to actually take. I don't think my opponent would take there. He knows he wants to keep the queen on the board, so I'd expect queen here. And of course, my king looks pretty safe there, so I guess I would just push the pawn up. So I should have done that instead of playing e4. We did that the next move. And I thought I'd tried to calculate this out well enough. I thought my king was safe, so I moved relatively quickly here. Then with this move, I've seen a chance, queen across, and now you've got to get something off the board here. So the best move apparently was queen forward, hang the rook, and there must be some move. So what's this? Queen d4. So the idea is I don't even take the rook here. What the heck? Why would I play queen e3 there and not take the rook? If I take the rook, I don't see it. There's no check there. There's no check there covered by the queen. I just take the rook. That's the engine being an engine, isn't it? I would just take the rook there. I mean, yeah, we're at this level. We're not going to play moves like this. That's the engine being an engine. Just grab the free rook. And it looks like there's no risk to losing a piece here. I don't see it. So I would have just taken the rook there. And then here, I've just seen a way to swap the rooks off. Then take the pawns. And then we just go for a nice simple ladder mate technique, just making sure that the king has got at least one legal square. That's all we're looking for. And we get a good win, but a really good effort by my opponent there, so well done.